Aloha, here we are. We're gonna work out the thighs today. We're gonna do some side laying series and we're also gonna get some core as well. So welcome, I'm Kachina, working with the Pilates Studio Pro, and I have it rigged against a very large door. And you'll see that I have it crossed over to the other side to create a little bit more tension. Otherwise I'd have to be further back. And today I'm a little bit limited on space, so I'm making do. That's what I love about this apparatus. Okay, so we're gonna be lying flat. You wanna be sure that your hips are just under and in line with your shoulders. Now I want you to check out something here. Underneath here, I want you to see a little puka of space. I want you to see this. So what I'm doing here is I'm engaging the lat on the lower part as opposed to just letting it all hang out and be loose. All right, I like to multitask with my time. So I'm going to rest my head here. I'm gonna have my hand here, and it might be good for you too, just to be sure that you're not wobbling, because we wanna keep this nice and stable, so we're working the core as well. So I have this on my top foot. We're gonna just start with 10 reps, exhale, pressing out through the heel. And then inhale, come back and mirror your bottom leg. Exhale, pressing out, and inhale, come home. You'll notice that the bottom leg is lined up with the front edge of the mat. You want to be sure your alignment is proper. It helps. Pushing out through the tush, getting full extension, flexing through the heel. I try to encourage clients to look forward so we're not in this rounded posture of the neck. We're doing too much texting at the computer anyway, so just allow yourself to be aligned and looking straight forward. Last one here. And we're gonna keep his legs straight now. We're gonna inhale forward, I'm gonna point to the toe, and then exhale, we're gonna press back. The tendency is everything's gonna overcompensate, so we again wanna keep everything nice and still. This leg is gonna help to balance you. If you need to, you can put this hand here too for extra support. Breathe in as the leg goes forward. Breathe out, press from the tush, and lengthen back. It's also going to create a nice stretch in the hip flexor and psoas. With all this sitting and driving we do these days, it's nice to be able to contract and engage and lengthen in the hip flexor here. Exhale, press. And right now in this beginner series, we're just doing a nice smooth breath. One breath out and one breath in. So exhale here. And inhale here. Remember to keep that space on the underside. You have two more. Exhale, press. Good. And last one here. Now let's take it up and see if we can maintain this for some circles. Now I'm going straight from my hip. So it's more of a half circle coming up, and then press straight down. Now, depending on your range of motion, if that doesn't feel possible, you can keep your circle more towards the front. You want to feel your big toe as if that's the pen drawing the line. Again, we're maintaining underneath, which is helping with the waistline. Just a few more here. Inhale. Wrapping outer thighs, exhale, press down. Everything's nice and smooth, no rushing. And one more. Now, this next one and last one on this side is I'm gonna keep my legs straight and they're gonna come to the front corner of the mat. And I'm going to développé, to develop the leg, coming from here, keeping the knee somewhat still and stable, and extend, and then press down. So exhale, drawing with my toes on the opposite leg, reach up, and once you get and understand the movement there, then checking in. Is your pelvis aligned? Are the hips wobbly? And have you maintained your underside? If that's too much to think about, focus on the leg and stay balanced. Right now, I feel my opposite side waist working, which is telling me I'm doing something over there too. Inhale, extend, getting nice length. Exhale, press down. And we have 4. You know, having this nice smooth movement allows some more grace in the fitness and in how we're walking and going about, which is always great for injury prevention and just simply having more graceful movement. Good for anybody, man or woman. And that's it. We're gonna stretch this here, stretching the front part. Again, getting that nice hip flexor stretch is always a good thing. And then we're gonna go to the other side. Okay, side 2. Setting up, shoulders and hips in one line, and front knee to shins at the front edge of the mat. Gonna lay down, and we're gonna create that puka of space here. So I pull down my shoulder blade and I lift up on the side waist, engaging lat and working the side waist. Here we go. We're gonna start just by pressing out. Exhale, reach through the heel. And the first one, just get some nice length here. And then hold that length as you come back. Exhaling, press out. And inhale, return. Good. Again, I like to hold my hip just to be sure that there's no wobbling. But if you want the added support, you can bring your hand forward. When you're extending, you want to press out a little bit more forward, and then when you come back, you want the shins to mirror and line up with the other one. That's how you know your range of motion is right on cue. Exhaling, press through the tush, getting full extension, press through the heel. 2 more here. And last one, maintaining a straight leg. We're gonna inhale, bring it forward, feel that nice stretch, and then exhale, press back. The first one, I like to do an assessment check, see where everything is feeling. So now resisting with the hips, inhale forward, and then exhale, press back through the tush and lengthening the hip flexor. Inhale forward, remembering that you wanna keep this puka of space underneath the side waist. Exhale, press, and inhale forward. And just honoring your body and where your range of motion is, where you're feeling today. Every day is different. Slow and controlled. Inhale forward. And we have 3 more. Exhale. And here we go with the circles. Up, press it down. Now, I just noticed it in my body, so I'm gonna let you know. When we're coming up, the mind, we wanna get big movement, right? But what can happen is you can lose your pelvis and your hips. So, let's go with less height and more alignment. Inhale forward and up, and then exhale straight down. Inhale forward, up, exhale, press it down. You should feel some of these newer muscle groups because there is not another apparatus besides the Pilates Studio Pro and the actual Pilates Reformer that can achieve this. I mean, I'm sure there is something out there, but not so well designed that is gonna help you to achieve and get into all the nooks and crannies of the smaller muscle groups. I'm a fan, as you can tell. Last one here. Good, now this one, we're gonna bring the feet to the front corner, staying nice and straight and long. Again, maintaining all of the structure here, because as we do on the mat, we wanna do off the mat. So here we're gonna développé. So I'm gonna trace with my left toes, my right leg to the knee, lengthen up, elongate and reach through the toes as we press down. So inhaling up and exhale it down. Just a nice, fluid, graceful movement where it's not jerky and there's not any starts or stops. Just mindful, rhythmic movement. Inhaling up Engage and squeeze the inner thighs together. And let's do 3 more. I feel it. You feel it? And last one. And we'll finish with the same stretch that we did on the other side, bringing the leg behind and knee to knee. And I like to give a little bit more scoop in my pelvis to get deeper into that hip flexor. I'm just holding it for 3 breaths. That was a great sequence, and if you want to do it, just press repeat and do it all over again. It's nice to do 2 sets sometimes, the same thing. Really get in there. All right, thank you for joining. You can find me at meetkachina.com. We'll see you next time.